Hey, man.
Well, hey, man. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty busy week.
Oh, yeah.
Just had 4th of July. And then, same day, Rick and Morty comes out.
Mm-hmm.
A couple days after that, we got Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then a little old movie, Black Widow came out.
Yep.
Or technically is coming out. It'll be out by the time this video is out. So.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fully released. But yeah, we're gonna take things in release order. We're gonna talk about Loki today, episode 5.
Episode 5.
Oh man, am I excited to talk about this episode?
Oh yeah.
Just the sheer number of Easter eggs. I know he's got to be giddy with excitement to just talk about all the little references that are made throughout the episode.
So many.
So many that aren't important at all, but there are so many that are just really funny callbacks.
Not anywhere near relevant,
books.
but there's still, so many.
There's just random calls to different storylines and stuff. Some things we might see in the What If series. Mm-hmm. So excited to talk about it. But we got a beer to talk about first.
Yeah, talking about the beer first.
We're going to get into spoilers as soon as we start talking about the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, and you just want to know about the beer, which is unlikely, because, this isn't really as much a beer show as it is us talking about Marvel stuff.
Marvel stuff, yeah, especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're continuing with the Firestone trend through Loki. And I'm sad to say that we only have one more episode left.
Yes. So we have to figure out what beer we want to do for the finale.
It's the Pivo Pills.
Pivo. I always say Pivo.
Pivo. Well, I mean, phonetically it would be Pivo. But I'll go with Pivo.
There's nothing...
5.3%.
5.3. It's a hoppy Pilsner, which we are traditionally, historically inclined to enjoy. This is definitely a summertime beer where you want a little bit more flavor to a Pilsner, but you don't want to be drinking anything heavy.
Yep.
A la Pivo Pils. And, it also ties in with Loki, because it's got green on it.
It's green.
I love that.
We'll talk about
green.
We'll talk about that reference later.
Yeah.
But
if you've seen the episode, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got a nice malt flavor to it with the hops, and it's nice. It's definitely a very crisp and summer beer.
Yeah. I mean, it's got your classic Pilsner flavors with just a little extra dash of hops. Mm-hmm.
Not overbearing on the hops, though. This is a very...
no, not really at all.
No.
If you're thinking piney or super floral,
yeah,
it is not.
No, not in the slightest.
It's a little bit more towards it's got that little tiny bit of grassiness to it.
A little bit. But I mean, it's nothing it's not an offensive taste.
Yeah.
It's very, very easing into the flavors.
Super easy to drink.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, dude, this thing's going down fast. as the other shall soon.
Very soon.
Quite soon. Yeah, not really a whole lot to say. I enjoy this beer. I'd probably throw it in the middle of the road at the 3 level, It's kind of, I guess nowadays, more middle of the road priced. At that, normally about $9 a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
$8.50, $9. So it's not, expensive. But for what you're getting, in my opinion, you can have significantly better beers. But if you're looking for something light, easy to drink, but still not sacrificing too much flavor, if you're an IPA drinker, for instance, you need something lighter. This is fantastic.
This is wonderful
for that kind of flavor profile. Mm-hmm. I could drink a 6-pack of these and just be all all right, Who needs a ride home? Not that I would ever do that, but...
No, we're joking, obviously.
Yeah. But, like, that's what I mean. You're not going to get hammered off of this.
No. This is, like,
so,
easy.
Again, I always say you're not going to... I mean, we're not going to...
Yeah, we're not going to.
We're not going to get hammered off of this.
Yeah, no. Even though we've cut back on drinking severely, it's still not going to really affect us in any significant way.
Yeah. Not enough. 5.3%. Like, if you drink...
This is another one of our lighter ones.
I guess if you drink all 6 in a 6-pack...
In, like, under an hour?
Like, yeah. I was going to say, like, 30 to 45 minutes. You're going to feel it.
Well,
like,
yeah.
That's just kind of inevitable.
Yes.
But, like, if you're drinking these barbecue throughout the day, hanging out by the pool, you go and grab one every 20, 30 minutes, you're going to be fine. You're going to be chilling. Mm-hmm. This is a great summer beer. So I'll pop it up to that 3.5 because I do like it as that kind of, you know, it's a light beer, but it's got a good flavor profile to it.
Yeah, I'll agree with the 3.5. That's about accurate. It's like very middle of the road, but it's like not sacrificing on flavor.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
It's a
and
good,
it's not
easy
offensive
drinking.
In flavor.
It's a very good easy drinking beer. That's
yeah.
light, which is odd for us. We don't usually drink light beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like heavier.
We like heavier beers, which is why we have to cut back on drinking beers because heavier beers tend to have like triple the carbs, triple the calories.
Yep.
You know,
it's a lot of stuff to burn off.
As you get older, it's harder and harder to burn that stuff off. Shit, we're only in our 30s.
But hey, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to try it out so you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to.
If you don't want to. But if you do, I recommend this one for the lighter beer crowd. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Just definitely try it during the summer. Like, nice, cold, like, it's good, refreshing beer.
It is. Quite refreshing. Anyways, with that, we're going to talk about the episode.
Yeah.
I guess after we finish this, because he just did.
Yeah, sorry. I couldn't wait.
So, episode 4 being the most cliffhangery episode of the season so far. Mm-hmm. Episode 3 is a close second with, Lamentus.
Yeah, with Lamentus one.
Crashing into each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely cliffhangery, but like that was like you could kind of see what was gonna happen. The timekeeper's gonna, or not timekeepers, but the TVA,
yeah.
the TVA are gonna, find them somehow, bring them back. Mm-hmm. We already saw what was gonna happen in the trailer for episode 5, so there wasn't really as much tension there. Mm-hmm. Episode 4, we end with finding out that the timekeepers themselves are animatronic robots. Mm-hmm. Loki and Mobius both getting pruned, mm-hmm. and Sylvie taking down Renslayer, and just like, what shit? Mm-hmm. And then Loki waking up in some random location with other Lokis surrounding him.
Yep.
Like, so many questions, so many things that are happening for the end of this episode. So, beginning of this episode is Sylvie and Renslayer, and she's basically still in that position of, you're going to tell me everything. Renslayer puts up a very obvious front. Mm-hmm. To kind of stall for time.
And Miss Minutes helps her.
Miss Minutes, helps her, let me find those files, just, searching through. I am really curious about, Miss Minutes and, where she came from and, the whole, are you a program or are you, sentient? It's a little bit of both.
A bit of both. Kind of think of her like Jarvis.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a... He doesn't have a body, but at the same time, he's also somewhat living.
Yeah, he has sort of a sentient conscience. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Ultron too.
Yes, exactly. But Jarvis has more of a moral compass.
Yeah, I mean, Ultron spent the first 15 minutes of his life on the internet. That'll fuck up anybody.
He must have found Rule 34.
Oh god. Wait, I exist. Do I already? Oh my god! How?
That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
That happened in the actual timeline comics too.
Oh really?
Yeah, Ultron had a female body.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, there you go. Rule 34. Look up for you if you want to really get weird.
It was a weird time in comics.
There's a lot of weird times in comics. Well, I mean, I was gonna say let's save the Easter eggs, but there's at least one weird Easter egg that I feel like we should bring up now, and that's the Thanos copter.
Thanos
Because
copter.
that also harkens back to a very weird time in Marvel Comics.
Oh yeah, when Thanos rode a copter, yeah, that was
the
definitely
fearsome
weird.
Near
The Mad
deity,
Titan, yeah.
wielder of all 6 Infinity Stones, flying a single man
helicopter, yeah.
That's hilarious, and it showed the ruins of it shown. And that's basically Marvel's nod of yeah, that timeline got pruned, that doesn't exist anymore. It's kind of showing how retcons work.
Yeah, essentially.
And the TVA comes and prunes the existence of that branch, and we just don't ever hear about it again.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, so we find out Renslayer doesn't really know a whole lot.
Yeah.
She's actually trying to figure out who's behind it all as well, but her motivations are to still keep the TVA.
To keep it the way the things are. Yeah.
Because she's already in a position of power. Shows that she's very reluctant to give that up. And a brief theory that I had learning more about her character in the comic books was that she's the one who unleashes Goliath in the comics. And I thought, oh, maybe it's a version of Renslayer that unleashed Goliath and is using the TVA and using pruning of all the universes to basically keep Goliath at the end of time, so that she can just keep feeding it more and more branched off realities.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good theory. I like that.
But it's obviously not this version of Renslayer.
No, it'd be like an alternate.
It would have to be an alternate version.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we still have yet to see.
Yeah.
There's so many potential theories for who the man behind the curtain is, which is a reference made several times in this episode too.
Oh, so many.
Oh man,
so many Wizard of Oz references.
Yeah, I mean you can get away with that. We're all thinking it. You gotta say it at least once, but the number of times they say it is a little
it's getting a little out of hand.
Okay, I get it. We get it. You're the man behind the curtain. I pay no attention. Yeah, we get it. It's fine.
Yep.
But let's actually move on and maybe write some more original dialogue.
Yeah.
I get the one reference. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. But multiple times, I'm over it.
What was the name of this episode? It was Journey into Wonder?
Journey into Mystery, I think.
Journey into Mystery?
I think it's named after the very first appearance issue of Loki.
Yeah. Well, the very first
issue
appearance
of
that had
where Loki appears.
Yeah.
And we get classic Loki.
Yeah.
Classic, ridiculous green and yellow costume. It was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
The actor who plays him is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Dude stole the show so many times in this episode. It was wonderful.
Absolutely.
Played it perfectly.
Yeah. The costume just added to the ridiculousness
it's
of it, too.
So true.
It was wonderful.
It was.
I did like the Sylvie did do the self pruning.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious as to how she was gonna get back with Loki, being that Loki couldn't get back to her. So definitely
Yeah.
like that was definitely on my mind. I don't know
taking the
if we brought that up.
After taking the Tem pad, yeah, she prunes herself.
Yeah.
Which Renslayer just didn't even, like, care.
Didn't even care.
Didn't even bat an eye.
like-
She's like, whatever, I'm gonna win anyway.
Yeah. It's like, wait, she stole your temp pad. I mean, she can get to where she's going and then come back. Granted, the stakes are a lot higher once she gets there, and she realizes that she's not just gonna go back.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that was just pretty dumb on Renslayer's part.
Mhm.
It's like, oh shit, she's got a temp pad.
Yeah, it's very,
And
like...
we're kind of just like sitting ducks.
Yeah, just kind of just overlooking the overall fact that she's still a significant threat and just doesn't see her as that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so she wakes up. Well, that's when we get the Loki
The Loki waking
following
up.
the other Lokis.
Yeah. Which, this is probably the funniest episode so far, in my opinion. Just all the different things going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's like trying to inspire them to fight Goliath, and they all just laugh in his face.
Yes.
When he decides that he's gonna go actually like try and kill Goliath, and he opens up the hatch, and then we get President Loki and all the other Loki variants
Yep.
that are just roaming around as either marauders or cannibals or cannibalistic marauders.
Cannibalistic marauders.
Marauding cannibals.
Marauding pirates.
Marauding pirates. Or marauding cannibals.
Marauding cannibals. Yep.
Either cannibals, marauding pirates, or
Yeah, like...
marauding
And,
cannibals.
yeah, Kid Loki actually did something significant in his timeline.
Yeah, killed Thor.
Killed Thor, so that's why
pretty
he's...
dope.
That's why he's the king.
Yeah. He also carries the Loki ancestral blade.
I think it's
It's like Laven.
Lai Twang, something like that. I'll put the name on it.
Yeah.
Down below.
I did not remember to
But
figure out what it was.
It means damaged twig.
Damaged twig.
Yep.
It's a very short sword or very long dagger. It catches on fire.
Yep.
Looks cool. It's gold. Yeah, it's basically Loki's Mjolnir.
Yep.
Which, after he gets that, and then he sees classic Loki, as he's referred to in the show, summoning a whole Asgard.
Asgard,
A
yeah.
whole illusion of Asgard.
His reality is Asgard because it was a little different from.
It was a little different
than
from the MCU.
what we see in the
Asgard.
MCU. Yeah. It still looked great though. It still looked really cool. Like I love that whole thing. Yeah.
But yeah, when that shows Loki that that Lokis are much more powerful,
than they actually
know.
think.
Now Loki's got the blade. He's got the knowledge that we're capable of doing so much more. And then Sylvie's like enchanting, like the basic idea. Like just gotta do it. It's enchant a gigantic cloud.
Murder
beam.
cloud. Enchant a gigantic murder cloud.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine. But yeah, Goliath is actually a character from the from the Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm. He fights against Tempest in a eternity long battle. It always ends in a draw.
Yeah.
They can never defeat one another.
He was also Goliath was foil for Kang as well. Kang Conqueror.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this whole series is like building up Kang's inevitable appearance, and while we're not so sure he's the man behind the curtain, we're only going to say that about 12 more times because that's how many times the episode probably used it.
Serious.
We know that is building up so that he's gonna be the main villain in Ant-Man 3.
Yes.
So
And probably he's gonna be the big bad moving forward.
Yeah.
So,
Or at least like a very Loki-esque, continuing kind of bad guy throughout the next few phases of
I'm
the
thinking,
MCU.
probably like not necessarily on a Thanos level, but like close to.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much going to be like, he's going to be the power scaling for the villains to basically show us just how much more crazy and ridiculous that we're going to get going forward. And that's what I feel, because obviously we're bringing in more and more characters that can do more and more insane universe-bending things. I mean, we got Loki discovering that he's far more powerful than he never knew. We've got Doctor Strange and Wanda. I mean, especially Wanda discovering her new plethora of powers.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to start introducing more characters that have much bigger abilities. Adam Warlock's going to be coming in Guardians 3. So we've got so many characters that are going to be reaching, Thanos levels of power just on their own.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to, level the villain playing field. It's like, oh, remember that guy that literally destroyed all of you? Yeah. This guy's just about as powerful, and he's, kind of the basic bitch of the of the MCU going forward.
Yeah, okay, so going forward, I hope that they, go from this, and, they also, hint at, Annihilus. Because Annihilus is stronger than Thanos, as well as Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
He almost destroys the entire, all of existence in, one timeline. It's, he's taken over everything in the entire universe. It's crazy. Plus, he looks really cool.
Hey, cool character designs are always a plus.
Yeah, so, there's a bunch of whole bunch of Easter eggs, and, one of my favorites that they show was, the living tribunals.
The head of the
statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was another good callback. So it's they actually exist.
Yes.
They're actually a being.
Well, I mean, we've
gotten
obviously
hints,
heard reference of them.
Doctor Strange. So they were hinted at, but they didn't seem like they were more of a celestial being. They just kind of maybe have been a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh man, they're getting so much bigger and crazier going forward.
I mean,
it really makes you realize just how contained the Infinity Saga was.
Was, yeah.
Because the world going on from here is just going to bound exponentially outward in all directions. I mean, now we've got Fantastic Four to look forward to. We've got X-Men to look forward to. Which means that we can bring in Doctor Doom and Galactus and Magneto and so many other insanely high-powered characters on both sides.
It's just gonna get crazier from this point on. A whole bunch of Easter eggs. Loki and Sylvie enchant Goliath, and they get to the castle floating on a rock at the end of the timeline. And that's where we end everything, essentially.
Yeah. So, obviously, next week's episode is going to be the last one. We'll finally see who the man behind the curtain is.
I'm still hoping that it's the man, the one that remains.
Or woman, or being of some sort.
Yes.
There's a lot of possibilities.
True.
Large spectrum.
Yes.
Of things. But, Dave, what are some of your favorite parts of this episode? Because there's a lot of great parts of this episode.
I just love all the different Easter eggs that they threw in there. like there's the Dark Aster, there was Yellow Jacket's helmet, there was Throg, which the number that was on there is the comic where the first appearance of Throg. Yeah, there was also the Thanos copter, the USS Eldridge, which was a nice callback to history. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, there's just so much.
There's a lot there.
The Ecto Cooler that Kid Loki was drinking,
dude.
I was so stoked
I noticed that right away because they're all drinking like crappy box wine, which Alligator Loki loves.
Loves box wine, apparently.
And yeah, when it gets to Kid Loki, he's drinking a freaking high C Ecto Cooler, and I'm all like, "That's right."
Yeah,
I like that.
yes.
I thought the whole scene when they're in their little underground bunker, in their little bowling alley bunker,
Yeah.
which weirdest bowling alley I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's like a slope and, you know.
Oh, also there was Polybius.
Oh, yeah.
The video game cabinet.
Video game cabinet.
That disappeared.
Yeah. Well, it's a, you know, urban legend kind of thing. Government created an arcade cabinet to control people.
Yeah.
You know. Much like things happening today.
Yeah.
There's a government thing to control people, quote unquote.
It's called your phone.
And you spent $1,000 on it. But anyways.
Yep. And the government knows wherever you're at with that thing, so. But, I mean, yeah, like, all the different references were wonderful. Loki getting his hand bit off, President Loki getting his hand bitten off was a reference to, like, Thor getting his hand cut off, and, like, not only in the comics, but also in the Thor the Dark World, which was a terrible movie, by the way.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible, it just wasn't great. It was a very forgettable movie. Yeah, I have to say that whole scene, the way they kind of lead into it, you know, with boastful Loki being a dick to Alligator Loki, and Alligator Loki just freaking jumps up and bites his hand, but he doesn't like go for it there. But then when President Loki's in there, he pulls the whole betrayal thing, and Alligator Loki's just sort of like, you're going down, freaking rips his hand off and eats it. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I also love that Alligator Loki, Kid Loki, and Classic Loki are all together with our Loki throughout the rest of the episode.
Oh, and I also love the quips that Mobius did with Classic Loki about the Alligator Loki.
Yeah. Also a possible lead-in for, you know, Loki being the overarching villain. Yeah, there's just it's like little things, but you know you can. I just theorize about everything.
I don't think it's gonna be Loki. It just seems too obvious.
Yeah. Just like freaking Sharon Carter.
Exactly. Okay, so I had a theory about that. Like, I thought about that the other night. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe that's what leads into Secret Wars. They find out that she's a Skrull. And then Sharon Carter's actually in space on a Skrull spaceship. Like, in, like, some sort of stasis. Kind of like what they did with Spider-Woman in the comic books.
Okay. I can see that. That's...
So the one that we're dealing with is not necessarily the same Sharon Carter.
Yeah. It's actually a Skrull. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. Yeah. I don't know. We got a ways to go to find out stuff like that.
But...
That's like way in the future.
I'm excited.
But we've got until next freaking Wednesday to find out about who the man behind the curtain is.
Just one more for you.
Yeah.
Good old
I
times.
think I've only had it like 5 times.
We're only a little under halfway there.
Yeah. But no, the way that Mobius and Classic Loki are having their conversation, and the way he says, like, well, he has the horns, and
he's green.
He's green. But maybe he's lying and, pretending to be a Loki.
But he's playing the long game.
Long con.
Long con.
But that's also very much like a Loki. That's a very Loki thing to do. It's just, there could be a Loki playing the long con and, heading the TVA.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet. I still kind of like the different Renslayer theory.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, and I don't know most of them off the top of my head for some reason.
There's a few, but yeah, I'm hoping that they take the comic book route on this one, and then they kind of twist at the end. Like, the TVA is still a thing, but Loki is helping Mobius, and Mobius is the head of the TVA.
I hope we get lengthy scenes of Mobius burning down the TVA, actually physically burning it down, because that'd be amazing. And he starts with his desk. That'd be great. I'd be all in for that. Yep. Also, just any more Owen Wilson than we can get. I'm always happy about that.
When he was driving the skinny pizza truck.
Skinny pizza truck.
I was so excited.
Pizza car.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great. Oh man.
Yeah.
This show is really good.
Yes, it is.
It started off a little slow. Episode 1 was interesting. I'm like, possibilities are what's more exciting about it.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 is when things start getting actually character driven, very, we're getting some actual moments in the show between Mobius and Loki, and then Loki and Sylvie. We're actually getting some more touching moments and progressing the actual character development.
Mm-hmm. Episode
4, obviously the big action, fight the timekeepers episode. Episode 5, just, alright, we're throwing everything to the wind and just going with this batshit crazy possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And episode 6, I imagine the stakes are going to go even higher.
Yeah.
When we find out who the man behind the curtain is.
I'm expecting this last episode to be the longest. Because everything's been about everything but the first 2 episodes have been 40 minutes. Around 40 minutes. I think episode 3 was 41, 42. I think 3 and 4 were 45, 46. So not including credits, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Also, this is a rare moment where, episode 4, they include that mid-credits scene. Obviously, they're setting up the next episode. They didn't include any mid-credits or end-credits scene with this episode.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was ooh, okay.
So I'm they're really making you wait. There's no teasers.
There's nothing.
Nothing. You gotta wait until next week to find out what happens.
I'm not even gonna watch the trailer for episode 6. I want
to go in totally fresh.
I want to watch everything the day of.
I will be tempted because I am on YouTube a lot.
So am I.
But I'm staying away from any episode 6 anything.
Yep.
Until the episode airs and I can kick back and watch it.
Yep. So yeah, stay tuned next week. We'll review the last episode of Loki, and then we have to figure what to do until then. Until the What If series comes out,
we'll still have Rick and Morty for a
2
little
weeks.
bit.
2 weeks after that. 3 weeks after that. The 11th.
Yeah. Oh, the 11th. I'm not even gonna be here.
Crap.
We'll have to start that one later.
I guess so.
We'll do a maybe 2 or 3 episode video and then go from there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I'll have to figure something out while you're gone.
Yeah. Because, all of our 3 viewers really need to...
Are so many viewers.
really need to stay updated on this stuff.
That's about wraps it up, so...
I think so. Hey, here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends for life shall always be.
If by chance we disagree,
then screw you.
Here's to me.
So hard not to finish that one.
Cheers.
Cheers.